you see a Kabbalistic configuration, but you actually don't know if the people that are involved, especially in the beginning, were aware that this occultation was happening around them. Really, it's just their power was being used. But since some Sith Lord, which are the Scythians, some of the dark Phoenicians, so since they have the holocron, which is the suit that they stole from Joseph of many colors, it's like a Superman suit, because they have this certain knowledge that gives them the ability to know who's guided in the future, which is the knowledge of the Essenes, the knowledge of the stars. Everybody has a star, knowing when stars are going to be popping up in a certain place that actually configures them properly to do certain great works. So they'll find that person like a baby in a fucking basket, like three wise adepts watching the stars, knowing when, hey, a Jedi just was born. Let's go and see if we can corrupt him to become a Sith. Or let's build a cloud around him and actually see if we can convert him into the dark side. That's kind of what generally happens to people who are born on these systems. So let me show you what happens to them when they're not even wise of their own energy and power. So what happens is that now every being has a certain amount of power, and it's based on the time that they're going to be here and their actions. But there's a sum total, and that sum total is within your star. So these brokers, they broke asses, the ones that work this magic, what they do is that they basically get you to sign a contract for your energy. And this is how they do it. Of course, the contract is nefarious. Of course, they're going to bankrupt you. But how the contract is set up, which is there's other entities involved, but they set a contract between you and another entity that basically pays for all the processes to actually happen for you to get through the stars. Basically, every time something is moved out of the way, something must be replaced. So if you're to go to the top or the bottom, something must be moved. In either way, you're going to be struggling and wrestling against entities. So even a being that wants to become the ruler of hell needs to be able to defeat Satan. You get it? So what happens is that these beings are enlisted to make all that happen on the metaphysical plane, and they charge for it. So what the Cohens do, which are the priests, the lying priests, they broker the deal and basically charge the person way over what they can afford. So they're going to be in debt. Now, this is the same banking system. So how this works is at first, when the transaction starts, the energy starts coming through, because the vault, they open the energy vault, by the way, completely open. They open the valve completely, okay, which can actually destroy your chakra centers, but they open it up all the way. A real spiritual process, you gradually become open and becoming aware of your powers and your abilities. They, through their Kabbalistic seal breaking, which they break into a chakra, break jewels, steal jewels, okay? So they open it up the vault completely. So what this looks like is now you become an NFL star, okay? And the amount of power around it is crazy. Like, I had a chance to be an NFL star for one day because they kept confusing me. I was in Atlanta and I went to one of the official after parties, and they let me in through one door because it was one of my boys' tickets. And from then, I mean, like 5 people hit me up at first, and I kept saying, I don't play for the Rams. I don't play for the Rams. Well, shoot, but after the 6th person, I was still in my younger years. I was like, yeah, you know, because it's just so much. It's like the little kids run, just sign my helmet. So all this energy that's coming out, right? So this guy is like living in he's overloaded, actually. That's what all the chains are about, because they're trying to actually keep him reined in and chained in. And so, and all the jewels and all this stuff is going on around this guy. He has no clue what's happening. So all this stardom, the star power, this shine, this lights, and all this energy, this money, and all this is happening. But what's really also happening is his time wheel is spinning faster. So he's actually aging faster and spending all of the power from his star all in those moments, okay? So then this is what happens. This is how the deal really starts to suck, literally. Now, everybody has their time and season. Like they say in the music industry, you have about 3 years. In every industry, there's an actual orbit that after that, to stay on point, you have to actually become a conductor of stars. You have to become a star maker. So what happens is those who didn't become star makers, they actually end up discharging at some point. And this just means you're out of money. That's how it metamorphs in the real life. Because you have this high-ass footprint. You got to keep making this money, but when you come out of power, you don't have that kind of current anymore. So then what happens? This is what happens. You get plunged into an illusionary world where there's no power. There's only a false light, which they call Lucifer. And how this is set up is that now, let's say you were one of the Rams, but the deal is done. Now the contract's over, you're even a little broken up and hurt. You even got the kind of the brain crack helmet issue too, right? But you don't got any money. But every time you turn around, somebody's like, Mr. Falk, Mr. Falk, sign my blah, 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 blah. Now you are so tired of this. Like when it was early in the game, this was like, yeah, baby. Yeah, let me sign your breast. You know, it was that in the beginning, but now it's like, stay away from me. It's like that because what's really happening is the person is in an illusion themselves. Because Hollywood and all the rest of these false lights have pumped you up into this God that you aren't. What happens is people expect and lust after that God. And so when you don't have any power anymore, but you still have to pay this person. This is what happens. So when they come up, I want this. What they're really saying is they want the power from the lust that they've accumulated from the illusion of who you are supposed to be, who you are not. Now remember, the Kabbalists are gone. They're on to the next guy. But you're still footing the bill, and that's what's happening. Because it's just about maintaining the balance and realizing you're going to stay in this forever. So you might as well figure out where your component is of comfort. You see what I mean? We don't die, we slide. So you will go into another experience.
What we are about the business now is awakening.